So far, we read from a text file and we show that we can write to a text file as well. In this example, we want to try something new. We want to, uh, we have a list and we want to get all the information that we have in that list and write them into a text file. Each item in this list should appear as a separate line in the text file that we want to write to, right? So that is the thing that we need to do. But the first step is, since we want to write to a text file, we need to open that text file. Okay, so that is the first step. I want to open a text file to write to it. So I'm going to pick a name, output file, and then equal to open. You can give it a name. I'm going to say lsd.txt, or you can get that name from your user, right? It's up to you how you want to pick that name. Since I want to write to it, I'm going to put W here. And then before I forget, I need to close this file. I'm going to say of output file dot close. So I make sure that I close it. So I opened it and I close it. The first two things that you should do. All right, now between these two, I can process that text file. In this example, I want to add something. I want to write something into that text file. All right, so the things that I want to write into that text files are the objects or the items that I have in my list. Okay, so to be able to write each of these items into that text file as like each one as their own separate line, first of all, I need to be able to traverse over all of these items, take each one, and then write them to my file object. Okay, so I need to have a loop. I need to traverse over that list, be able to access each of the items, and then write them into the text file. So I'm going to create four. You can do it using a while loop as well. So for item in my list, I'm going to take that item, which is going to be all of the individual elements that you have in that list, and I'm going to write them into my file object. So my output file name is of dot write, and then I'm just simply saying write the item into it, right? So far everything is okay, right? So in here, I don't have anything that is called lsd.txt, any text file that is named txt. There is no lsd.txt. But as soon as I run this file, you will see that is going to be created because I'm trying to write into a text file, and if the file does not exist, it's going to create that. If the file already exists, it's going to destroy the previous file and it's going to create a new file, and I'm going to show that to you. So first, let's go with a name that does not exist. If I run this code, okay, so far so good. And as you see, lsd.txt is created. All right, so let me just put it here, put the output file here. All right, so I'm going to open this lsd.txt. All of the things that I wanted are written into that file, but the problem is they're all stick together. They're all like glued to each other. The reason behind it is each of these items you're saying, okay, write it into that text file, but there is no new line character that you have at the end of each one of them. If you do not have that new line character, that means they are part of same line. If you want to see them as separate lines, you need to make sure to add that new line character at the end. So the new line character could be part of your string that you have, or you can add it to your item when you are writing it into your text file. So I'm saying whatever item you have, concatenate a new line character to it and then write it to that text file. So now if I run it this time, let me close it, open it again. Now they are all in a separate lines because I added that new line character to each one of them. Okay, so that is when you are creating a name that does not exist. Let's go and pick a name that does exist. For instance, copy data.txt exists. And if I pick that name, if I say data.txt is going to destroy that, which has 3 lines in it. It's going to destroy this file and create a new one which holds apple, pears, orange, and grapefruit. Okay, so let's run it. Here we go. So let's open data now. Here you go. It has the fruits in it instead of line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay. So quick recap. I wanted to write something to a text file. The first two things that I did was to open a text file and close it, right? And then between the two, I'm going to process that text file. Whatever I want to do with it, I will do it between open and close. So in this example, I had a list and I wanted to write out all of the items that I had in that list in separate lines. So first I said I traversed over that list, took each of the items, and I wrote them into the text file. When I did that, the problem was since I didn't have the new line character at the end of each one of them, they were all part of the same line. When I added the new line character for each item, so I'm saying apple plus new line character, go ahead and write it into that text file. Then each of those items are going to have their own separate line. They are going to be in their own separate lines.